The adventure resumes with a sense of urgency as the team learns that Undyne has been taken and is being held in the town's emergency shelter. Unlike their previous journeys, this threat has breached the light world, making the danger feel much more immediate and personal for everyone involved. Kris awakens to a surprisingly domestic morning. Toriel has made a large breakfast of pancakes and omelets, and Suzy, who stayed the night, is invited to join them for the church service. Suzy reluctantly agrees, suspecting the delicious breakfast was a clever trap to get her to attend the service. Arriving at the local church, Toriel leaves to prepare for her role in the choir, instructing Kris and Suzy to behave. The two explore the church lobby, checking out a motion sensor juice dispenser and a fire extinguisher before heading into the main sanctuary to find a seat for the service. The church service begins with a hymn about the legend of the Deltarune, which seems to be the central faith of the town. The sermon that follows is lengthy and quite dull, causing Kris to doze off. The experience is a mix of confusion and boredom for the young heroes. After the service, Kris and Suzy mingle during the juice and social hour. Their main goal is to gather information about the shelter where Undyne is being held. They begin questioning the various townsfolk, hoping someone has a clue about how to get inside the lockdown location and rescue their friend. Their investigation yields some crucial information. They learn from Alphys that only 2 people have been seen near the shelter recently, Undyne herself and the mayor. This narrows down their search for the access codes, suggesting a connection between the police, the mayor's office, and the church. Suzy pieces together the clues they've gathered. The shelter has 3 symbols on its lock: a police badge, a pine tree, and a church symbol. They deduce the pine tree represents the mayor, Carol Holliday. Realizing the mayor might keep important documents at home, they decide their next target is Noelle's house. Leaving the church, the group has an awkward encounter with Ascor, who tries to give Toriel flowers. After changing out of their church clothes, Kris and Suzy formulate a plan. They can either check in with Ralsei at the school's dark world, or head directly to Noelle's house to search for clues. While exploring the town, they learn from Napstablook that Undyne was in charge of an important code related to the shelter, but it's not kept at the police station. This reinforces their theory that the codes are held personally by key individuals, making their mission to investigate the mayor's home even more critical. At the school, they update Ralsei on the situation with Undyne and the shelter. Ralsei, ever the supportive friend, offers comfort and assures them that someone as strong as Undyne will be all right. He suggests they focus on preventing anyone else from being taken by the night for now. Inside Ralsei's castle in the Dark World, the friends find their personal rooms have been combined. Ralsei has prepared a tea party for them. The sweet moment is interrupted by Lancer and his crew, who are busy excavating the castle walls in search of buried treasure, much to Ralsei's bewilderment. A touching scene unfolds as Kris and Suzy discover that Ralsei doesn't have his own room in the castle. He has been so focused on their happiness that he never made one for himself. Suzy, moved by this, promises that she and Kris will decorate a room for him, wall to wall. Ralsei confides in Kris, revealing that his time with them is causing him to develop his own opinions, desires, and fears. He questions whether a Darkner like himself should be experiencing such things, showing a deep-seated uncertainty about his own identity and purpose beyond serving the heroes of the prophecy. Back in the light world, the duo has a humorous and frustrating encounter with Sans outside his shop. Despite the open sign, Sans playfully obstructs their entry with a series of nonsensical sign changes and semantic games, leaving Suzy annoyed and the mystery of what's inside his store unresolved for now. Kris and Suzy arrive at Noelle's house, which is permanently decorated for Christmas. Noelle gives them a tour of the lavishly festive home as they look for an opportunity to search for the shelter code. The atmosphere is slightly unsettling, hinting at the pressures within the holiday household. During their supposed study session, Suzy intercepts a phone call from Birdley asking Noelle to the festival. To spare Noelle the awkwardness, Suzy bluntly tells him no. This gives Kris the perfect opportunity to slip away and begin searching the house for the key to the locked rooms. While searching a bedroom, Kris discovers a red guitar with a shelter passcode taped inside. As they read the numbers, the player's soul is suddenly ripped out of Kris's body. Kris, now acting independently, traps the soul in a box, revealing a more sinister and autonomous side to their character. The player, as the disembodied soul, must navigate the hidden passages within the walls of the house. Kris stalks the passages as well, throwing objects and trying to recapture the soul. The goal is to reach different rooms and trigger events without being caught by the now antagonistic Kris. The soul manages to reach the piano, and Kris, drawn by the music, sits down to play. This distraction allows the soul to explore further, revealing a hidden passage in the kitchen that leads down into the house's basement. This uncovers another layer of secrets within the seemingly perfect home. In the basement, the soul is discovered by Suzy and Noelle under a cookie tin. The strange event is dismissed as a mouse, but it leads to a bonding moment between the two girls. Noelle starts to open up about her dreams, hinting at her experiences in the dark world with Suzy. While Suzy and Noelle are distracted, Kris continues to cause trouble, this time with a guitar. The strange noises unnerve the girls, but Suzy's attempt to play the guitar pleases Noelle. They grow closer, with Noelle suggesting they go to the upcoming town festival together, deepening their connection. The study session is abruptly ended by the arrival of Noelle's mother, Carol. Her presence is imposing and unsettling. She makes a thinly veiled, threatening comment to Suzy, and the red color of the word "you" hints that she is aware of the player's presence, adding a layer of meta-horror. After the tense encounter at the holiday house, Kris and Suzy discover a new dark fountain has been opened inside the church. Realizing the night has struck again, they know they can't just wait for them to emerge. Determined to confront the threat, they bravely leap into the new dark world. They land in the new dark world, but Suzy's immediately ensnared by a trap. The roaring night appears, a shadowy figure that attacks Kris with shards of glass. Ralsei arrives just in time to heal Kris's injuries, and the trio is once again united to face the dangers ahead. As they venture deeper, they find the prophecy of the Deltarune inscribed on the walls. Ralsei explains its meaning, but the text is revealed in scattered fragments throughout the world. Their journey becomes a quest to piece together the full legend and understand their roles within it. The group encounters an old, slow-moving turtle who they initially assume is a Darkner. He reveals he's a Lightner who got lost, the town priest Gearson. Since a Lightner getting hurt would be a disaster, they reluctantly agree to escort him through the treacherous church-themed world to his study. Gearson proves to be a surprisingly helpful, if quirky, companion. He offers cryptic advice and seems unbothered by the dangers. He has a strange fixation on the prophecy, expressing a dislike for its predetermined nature, which makes Suzy question his motives and true understanding of their quest. They arrive at Gearson's study, which serves as a shop where they can buy new gear. A book in the study speaks of a legendary magic axe hidden within the walls, locked away by a special mechanism. Intrigued by the promise of great power, Suzy decides they should find it. The search for the magic axe involves solving a series of piano-based puzzles. By playing specific melodies found on scattered notes, they unlock hidden passages and chests. One chest finally reveals the Absorb Axe, a weapon that can heal its wielder when it deals damage, a perfect fit for Suzy. After solving a complex piano puzzle, a bridge appears, allowing them to proceed. Ralsei's behavior becomes more suspicious. He already knew the solution from the prophecy, but chose not to say anything. This erodes some of Suzy's trust, as she questions why he is deliberately withholding information. They enter a forbidden dark zone, a pitch-black maze where they are hunted by a pumpkin-headed monster. The creature, Jackenstein, is terrified of the light. After a challenging chase and battle, they learn he is not malevolent, just lonely. As a reward, he gives them a climbing set. Gearson's mentorship helps Suzy overcome her self-doubt about her new healing ability. He encourages her to practice, pricking his own finger to give her a target. She successfully heals him, gaining confidence and realizing that teaching can be a form of kindness rather than judgment. Using their new climbing gear, the team navigates vertical sections of the world, triggering switches by playing musical organs. These actions manipulate the environment, opening new paths. Rousey's evasiveness continues to grow, particularly when Suzy leaves to find Gearson, and he quickly changes the subject upon her return. In a quiet moment, Suzy finds Gearson, who asks her to memorize a letter he's writing. It's a poignant scene as Suzy begins to understand the importance of preserving memories and messages. She copies down the music from his letter, unknowingly gathering the final piece of a puzzle. Kris plays the complete melody on a grand church organ, and the music transforms the world around them, revealing the path to the fountain. The moment is a powerful display of Kris's growing autonomy as their hands move on their own, separate from the player's control, to perform the complex piece. They reach the dark fountain. After a moment of reflection, Kris seals it, causing the church-themed dark world to collapse. They awaken back in the light world, inside the priest's office. The mood is somber as they prepare to face the reality of what they've learned and what they must do next. Inside the office, Suzy realizes the truth. Gearson, the priest, has passed away. The helpful old man in the dark world was merely a memory, a Darkner patterned after him. Devastated but resolute, Suzy decides they must bring him back, leading her to make a drastic choice. Using Kris's knife, Suzy channels her determination and stabs the ground, creating her very own dark fountain. This act of sheer will plunges them into a new, personally crafted dark world, born from her desire to see her friend again and find the answers they need to save everyone. This new dark world is a distorted reflection of the last one, filled with prophecies about the three heroes. Suzy becomes captivated by the tales of her own heroism, eagerly searching for the next piece of her story. The world seems to cater to her desires, but a sense of unease hangs in the air. As Suzy reads the final prophecy, the one detailing the world's salvation, Rousey subtly appears and destroys the tablet. He was trying to prevent her from reading it, protecting her from a painful truth. He confesses he's been trying to stay one step ahead of them to shield them from the prophecy's tragic end. The group is attacked by a stone statue of Gearson, animated by the dark world. Suzy, believing it's her friend turned hostile, is forced to fight it. After a difficult battle, Rousey reveals it was just a statue and that the real Gearson can't be brought back this way, leading to a heartbreaking realization for Suzy. With the truth revealed, the trio has a heartfelt reconciliation. Suzy, instead of being angry, comforts a crying Rousey. She tells him that they are a team and will face whatever comes together, and that he doesn't have to carry the burden of the prophecy's dark secrets all by himself anymore. After sealing the second fountain, they emerge in the shelter's control room, where the knight awaits. However, instead of fighting, the knight creates a massive roaring fountain. The sheer power is too much, and from the darkness emerges a terrifying, world-ending creature, a titan. The heroes, along with all the Darkners they've recruited, make a desperate stand against the titan. They form a giant mech to aid in the battle, but the titan's power is overwhelming. The fight becomes a frantic race against time as they climb the colossal being, searching for a way to stop it. The knight taunts them, laughing as they struggle. The heroes realize they don't have to defeat the knight, only get past them to seal the fountain. This revelation shifts their strategy, but the knight makes a final, desperate move, pouring all of their power into the titan. The battle against the titan is fierce. It's a shadowy behemoth that exists only to destroy. Rousey explains that it is the physical manifestation of fear, born from a fountain's wild, untamed power. He believes it can't be beaten, but suggests Kris might be able to seal it like a fountain. At the apex of the Titan, they confront its core. The battle is a grueling test of endurance, requiring them to use a new ability, Unleash, to break its defenses. They must survive relentless attacks while creating openings to deal damage, pushing their teamwork and resolve to the absolute limit. The fight is incredibly challenging, with the Titan unleashing overwhelming waves of attacks that fill the screen. The heroes must rely on Suzy's powerful new party-wide healing spell to stay in the fight, barely surviving each onslaught as they slowly chip away at the monster's defenses. Just as all hope seems lost, the ghost of Gearson appears, inspiring them for one final push. Suzy comes up with a desperate plan. With a powerful throw, she hurls Kris and the player's soul directly into the Titan's core, causing a massive explosion that finally defeats the creature. In the quiet aftermath, Suzy finally sees the prophecy's tragic ending. To save the world, a hero must be sacrificed. Heartbroken but defiant, she refuses to accept this fate, telling a distraught Ralsei that they will find another way and protect each other, no matter what any prophecy says. With the Titan gone and the world saved for now, Kris seals the final fountain. Suzy shares a quiet, hopeful dream with Kris that they can remain friends forever, with each day being as good as the last. It's a wish for normalcy in a world constantly threatened by darkness. Back in the light world, Kris arrives home to find Toriel and Sans in the middle of a bizarre dance party. After Toriel drunkenly sends Kris to bed, Sans hints at a deeper connection and a shared struggle. Kris then goes to their room, ready for the night's strange ritual. In the final scene, Kris once again removes their soul and places it in the birdcage. They approach the window, where they communicate with a mysterious, unseen figure. Kris nods, seemingly agreeing to a promise, before the screen fades, leaving the nature of their allegiance a chilling mystery.